Hi, it's me again, Bobby Sinatra with the baby blue eyes. It's good to see you. I hope you have some time. Just wanted to chat real quick. No big deal. My birthday just passed recently. On the one hand, I'm almost 30. On the other hand, I'm only 26. And I thought I'd be living life much differently by now. Sometimes our plans don't work out. Sometimes the picture we see for the future doesn't always end up in frame. And, I'm on, I've got a pretty open road ahead of me at this point. I just, really, I'm just here to get something off my chest. I've been going through a little bit of a tough time. Some unfortunate circumstances with love lately. I don't want to get too deep into it, because the person I'm referring to deserves that respect. Mistakes were made, we'll say that, over a long period of time. So mistakes were made and the two of us ended up separate. And I had a picture in my head, an idea in my mind to start a family with this person. And so I took that as serious as I could. We were young. So I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was putting the right foot forward. And here I am now, and things have gotten a little cold and a little lonely. And we're coming up on the holidays and wintertime, and it's only going to get colder and lonelier. And so it begs the question, what choices are there left to be made now? And a big part of the reason I wanted to have this conversation too is I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure there are young men and women in society. There are real people. I'm not talking about the influencers or the celebrities or the politicians or none of that shit. None of that. I'm not worried about any of that shit. That all of that shit's for the cameras. It's for show. And it's unfortunate that idea has bled over into real life. Relationships to me are more than a honeymoon phase, and are more than status, and are more than shopping. It's like relationships these days have become we'll call them, love has become, what's the word for it? Supermarket brand, right? And that being said, I'm not sure that that's something I want to engage in. My concept and my idea of what love is and what it looks like and what it's supposed to be is a lot different from what I think it's becoming, which is scary, especially being almost 30 and a time where being social and maintaining relationships and things like that and starting a family is going to get progressively more and more difficult, and it might slip out of reach. Now, of course, that's, I don't want to be a negative Nancy about it. I don't want to be too much of a Debbie Downer about it, because the idea is, all I've got left is myself now, and a handful of close friends and family and loved ones. And many people don't have that. And that lack of relationships informs our disposition towards the people we meet in our life. And people can't be blamed for that. It's unfortunate that it has to be recognized. Blame is a lot like worrying. You can worry about something as much as you want, and it doesn't necessarily influence the outcome one way or another. Whether or not you sit around worrying about something will not inform what you're worrying about results. Whatever it is that you're worrying about it will not influence its outcome one way or the other. As well, blaming somebody else of this is what you did and this is how it made me feel. This is all wrapped up in the work that it takes to make love survive. And love is something to be built. It's not something to be exchanged for value, we'll say, right? And while I was with this person for many years, I had the idea in my head. Again, I was young, so I didn't exactly. I'm not going to sit here and claim I'm Clark Kent, Mr. Perfect. I'm far from Superman. I didn't know what I was doing. I wanted to build, and I thought building meant being a man and providing. And somewhere lost in translation, I leaned too much into my heart, and emotions have no intelligence. And then that ended up in friction and misunderstanding and miscommunications and hurt and pain and heartache. And I ended up losing this person. For better or for worse, it is what it is now. I've got nothing but love and respect for this person because I can't find it in myself. I don't wish to disrespect or devalue the love, the real true love that I had for this woman. And so that being said, I'm choosing lately to take the high road of self-improvement. It all starts with yourself. It all starts with yourself. And this is a message and hopefully motivation to my peers, others amongst my class, myself. You might be finding yourself in a lonely period of time, in a difficult spot in society where relationships and friendships and socialization is unfortunately devalued in favor for clout, we'll say, for lack of a better word. Clout. And there's nothing wrong with having fun, but I think when it comes to too much of anything is a bad thing, even good things. When in the future you look back at a pattern of decisions that have been based on gratification at the time, you find yourself in a house of cards. Sure, it's a house, but it's built on moments that were fleeting before they even started. And to put it like this, I believed in building and putting in the hard work and enjoying the fruits of labor after the fact. And in pursuing that labor and putting in that hard work and in putting a foot forward every day to improve and to do better, there comes a payoff to that when those fruits are meant to be enjoyed. Now, that being said, the fruits of gratification are a lot less sweet, than the fruits of labor. And that's been even in my juvenile interpretation of love, that was the core idea I had in mind, was the fruits of labor are a lot sweeter than the fruits of gratification. And in being under the impression that I was building something with this person throughout this relationship, and let me also say, as a side note, the frame I had hanging up behind me in the first video were wedding vows and love letters that I wrote to this person on jail paper with a fucking golf pencil in jail, surrounded by murderers and rapists and child molesters in county fucking jail. I was doing some crazy shit at the time. all in the name of my love for this person. I made some stupid decisions in thinking that I would plant the seeds for our love to grow fruitfully in the future. And I was, again, I was young. I wasn't thinking. And I ended up making the same mistakes. Life has a way of teaching us the hardest lessons through making the same mistakes over and over again until we've learned. There's no time limit on that. There's no cooldown for that. If you're bound to make the same fucking mistake, you're gonna keep going face to face, toe to toe with the same fucking lesson until it finally pounds through your head that what you're doing either needs to be done differently or something differently needs to be done. And part of me still believes that I wish I could have just done what I was doing differently. I wish I could have that opportunity back to do what I was doing differently. But now I'm on the other side of the chaos and the confusion and all of that. And that it's quiet. It's quiet. And I used to think in those times of chaos, you know, one day these quiet times will come, and we'll be thankful for having made it through those periods of chaos. And now it's not what I pictured it. I am grateful for having made it through, for having persevered and found strength and overcome adversity and having navigated an insurmountable obstacle to find stability. However, it's just that all the while, in the midst of all this, while this person and I were in the throes of things, I thought that real love was going to show itself on the other side. Real love would show itself through our sticking together.